I think that being a four-piece is going to make us much more versatile, and I think it's going to open up a lot of new doors for us to really experiment and really let loose on our creative sides. Because before, having 5 people, having a specific singer and a specific screamer, that really puts that restricts you a lot, because now you're splitting up the vocal parts into 2 separate people. And so if you start writing music that's primarily singing and not as much screaming, what does a screamer do? What do they just stand there on stage and stare at the crowd? So now that we're a 4-piece, that really opens up a lot of creative doors for us. And just judging by how the last record came together, and how a lot of us have really visualized our music and the way we arrange it and put it together, I'm thinking that the band is going to be focusing a lot more on being heavy melodically, as opposed to just just super low screaming breakdowns, whatever. There's a whole different side to heavy than just breakdowns or breaking down different things and tuning low as shit and other things. There's a whole melodic side to it that can make something sound super heavy without having to take that textbook breakdown or low tuning or you name it, all the stuff that we do now and that other screamo bands do now, that is technically considered heavy. There's a whole new universe to heavy than just what we do now, and I think that's really going to be our biggest focus, is to redefine heaviness in our own music. Caleb recently started taking vocal lessons with Melissa Cross, and so he started working on he's experimenting with his new scream, and also he started singing, just singing normally, and his singing voice is pretty phenomenal, actually. I had no idea he could sing like that until really recently, when we recorded the demo that we put up on our MySpace, which just kind of happened at it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was hanging out at Caleb's house, and we're in the studio in his basement, and we're sitting there, we're arranging this new song that we were putting together, and he wrote several different parts for it. So we're sitting there and just listening to it and just cutting it up and putting it together in different ways and listening to it. And then Caleb just looks at me and he goes, "I think I'm going to try to sing this." I'm like, "What do you mean you're going to try to sing it?" So then he just stands up, he walks in the vocal booth, and so I go over and I sit down at the computer and I cue it up, and sure enough I hit record, and that's what happened. That song that's on MySpace is what came out of his mouth. And so that was just kind of a shock. So we sent him out to Melissa Cross, and he went there, and he's just been, he sings pretty much all day, every day, on the bus. We do acoustic stuff now, and he does his acoustic covers, and so I'm thinking a lot of our newer stuff is going to sound a lot like that song, with that really I don't know, he's got that really raspy, I don't even know how to explain it. It just sounds like rock and roll. We were one of the biggest bands on our manager's roster, and we wanted to go in a much different direction than just staying in just the music scene and just seeing music. And we just really wanted to get someone else who could bring a different type of thinking to the table for our band, and for the business side of how our band works. We wanted to make sure that we're playing the full field of the music industry. The biggest thing is, no matter who you are, no matter what band you are, it doesn't matter how many records you sell or how big you are, there are thousands of people that have no idea who you are, that have no idea of the existence of your culture or your type of music, and that's just the way it works. The biggest mistake that bands and people in bands make is they underestimate the sheer size and magnitude of the music industry and of the market. It's enormous. It's much bigger than you can possibly imagine. You can be one band with the same 4 guys and play 5 different types of music and have platinum records in each of those genres, and none of your fans from any of those genres will know of the other fans. That's how big it is. And so that was one of the main reasons why we wanted to just really expand and really move outward and really try to take advantage of as much resources and really get, the biggest picture possible in order to base how we continue our career and where we go from there. Now, if that doesn't, if that means we go to a major label, if that becomes the best option, sure, But if not, then no. We just want to make sure that we aren't just kind of like, you know, you don't want to get swept up in all of the, you know, all of the action and all of the, you know, the bright lights and shiny things that the music industry throws at you once you start getting success. You know, we don't want to just follow the trail to wherever that dead ends to. We want to make sure that we're in control and that we're the ones that are making our career stay the way we like it, which is, it's fun. Like, we're all out here because we enjoy it, and we don't ever want to become slaves to some like record label, and we don't ever want to, you know, become slaves to money, you know, to the dollar. We just want to be out here and do it because we enjoy it.